Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, please welcome to the stage Baker Hughes Chairman and CEO, Lorenzo Simonelli.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baker Hughes Annual Meeting 2026. It is so good to see so many of you here. In fact, I'm glad to say that we have record attendance. Over 2,500 participants from over 80 countries, representing multiple industries, from oil and gas, to mining, to fertilizers, to cement, to petrochemicals, power generation, across the board, united here to talk about the importance of energy and how we take energy forward into the future. And what a fitting place. Florence, the city known as the city of the Renaissance. 600 years ago, the cultivating spot of history, architecture, literature, innovation, and science. And the Duomo, a fitting masterpiece that 600 years ago came together through multiple forces and created what you see as the dome. A sphere that came together and is held in balance with the lantern at the top. Brunelleschi, 600 years ago, managed to find the balance that created this masterpiece. And today, we're here to discuss the importance of energy as we go forward. And how do we find that balance? The theme of the meeting is the energy equation. We know that in the future we need sustainable, affordable, and secure energy. We need to make sure that it is in balance and that energy equation is consistently challenged. What is the energy equation? It's the quest of industrial outcomes. When we think about the growing population, the demand for energy that keeps on increasing, generative AI, industrial output, the prosperity of humankind. 3/4 of the world's population with the quest to be as prosperous as 1/4 of the world's population. The need to fuel those industrial outcomes in efficient manners. And the ever-expanding need for energy sources. It's not an either or, it's not a hydrocarbon or renewable. It is the expansive aspect of energy sources. From geothermal, hydrogen, nuclear, wind, solar, natural gas, all together an expansion that's necessary to fuel the prosperity as we go forward. As we know, the world is constantly changing, and we're constantly struggling to find that balance. As you look at geopolitics today, depolarization, regionalization, fragmentation, conflicts, they're ever current and struggling to find that sustainability, security, and affordability of energy that's so desperately needed. How do we find that balance? And we also see the climate changes that are impacting the infrastructure that is so fragile today. Infrastructure that's under attack from the climate changes. The quest for decarbonization that is a reality for the environment and the planet we live in. At the same time, we know that energy demand is increasing. Electricity demand is meant to double by 2040. When you look at the growing population, when you look at the advent of generative AI, when you look at the industrial consumption that's taking place, and it's only fitting that everybody have the opportunity to prosper, and everybody on the planet be given the opportunity of secure, affordable, and sustainable energy as we go forward. And we need to continue to expand that energy source. We need to look for new ways in which we harness the power to fuel the industrial outcomes that are necessary. How do we continue to explore geothermal? How do we continue to look at clean integrated power solutions? At the same time, when there's been underinvestment in the industry as we've gone the past few years, how do we make sure that energy source is available to achieve the industrial outcomes that are necessary? As we look at the next few days, we've got an opportunity to discuss the energy equation. We've got an opportunity to discuss how we bring that back into balance. And at Baker Hughes, we think we need to rewrite the energy equation. We need to look at it differently than the past as things have changed, as we see new challenges and new struggles. When we think about rewriting the energy equation, it's about radically looking at new ways in which we can provide industrial outcomes, how we're able to achieve more from the infrastructure and change the infrastructure to give more to prosperity, maximizing what we have available to us, looking at new commercial innovation, new technology innovation, bringing it into life and into practice, feeding the industrial outcomes that the world so much desires, and also continuing to expand those energy sources and looking beyond and diversify the energy sources, rethinking how we bring those energy sources and maximize the recovery rates. So much can be done, and we at Baker Hughes are working with each of you in this room across multiple industries to bring it to life. We are rewriting the energy equation, and it's going to be essential as we go forward. And I want to describe some of the ways we're working with you on rewriting the energy equation. As you look at delivering new radical industrial outcomes, we've been working with Frontier on power generation. This isn't about just equipment. This is about fueling data centers and also carbon sequestration, providing cleaner energy to fuel data centers. As you look at also essential industries, and you think about what fuels and feeds the world, being able to maximize fertilizers, Wabash Valley, a project that brings together multiple resources, changing from gasification to clean ammonia. An announcement just came out on the continued project execution and the way Baker Hughes is partnering together with stakeholders from government as well as from the local community and bringing this project to life. With CAFCO and Yara, the way in which we apply optimization tools to increase the aspect of fertilizer production. Essential industries, and we're fueling those and making sure that we have better industrial outcomes. And I'm also pleased to announce a step further in the infrastructure around energy storage. A partnership with HydroStore with regards to advanced air-compressed energy storage, giving reliable energy storage as we go forward. Innovation, making industrial outcomes possible. And the resilience around gas. Gas storage with Dubai Petroleum in the Markham field. Again, linking the subsurface and the top side, ensuring resilience as we need to fuel with gas the continued demand for industrial outcomes. And our proposed acquisition of Chart, which brings together more industrial scale applications to innovative technologies with heat transfer, cryogenics, again, maximizing the industrial outcomes. As we think about recalibrating and rewriting the energy equation, it starts by thinking differently on how we achieve these industrial outcomes. Innovation, technology, collaboration. And it's also about how we maximize the use of energy sources. We know that we need more energy. It isn't an either or. It's maximizing the recovery of what we have, the materials we can use. And as you see the example with Fervo, advanced enhanced geothermal, a project that with 5 wells is producing 300 megawatts of clean electricity to help hundreds, thousands of houses. As we look at CTR, again, geothermal for base load power on data centers, how we're maximizing the efficient use of geothermal going forward. And today, I'm pleased to announce the launch of our production flow optimization digital solution for FPSOs that really ties in the subsurface with the top side, maximizing production that's available for partners such as Hanwha Ocean and others in the FPSO space. Maximizing the recovery rates and linking the knowledge from the subsurface to the top side. You can see it in the technology showroom after this session. And continuing with the digital landscape, bringing together our Cordant solutions for Petrobras, and being able to maximize and efficiently use less energy on FPSOs. Maximizing the production and more efficiency on the energy. And with Aramco, our Lucipa digital tools, connecting with the ESP optimizer to enhance production from the wells, increasing the flow of liquids as we go forward. And today, reaching over 2,000 assets with our iCenter, monitoring our equipment 24/7 to ensure we reduce downtime, making sure that we have uptime and production going forward, and continuing to innovate and applying AI tools. As you look at AI and the discussions that have happened over the last year, we are at the forefront implementing AI into our solutions. And with E&I on the drilling well completions, applying AI tools to maximize recovery rates and first-time success, making sure that we're making the most as expanding the energy sources that are available. As you think about maximizing, we're going to need to have radical new industrial outcomes and also think about the expansion of energy sources. That alone, though, is not enough. We also need to make sure that globally we align and that we have stakeholders from governments, regulatory authorities, NGOs, and a framework that supports new radical industrial outcomes and energy expansion from all sources. We need to make sure that we encourage natural gas and LNG, a resource that is abundant and is not a transition fuel, it is a destination fuel. As you look at the growing demand that's out there, natural gas and LNG are a pathway to achieving success. And continuing to invigorate geothermal. What used to be impossible now is possible, gaining megawatts from lower temperatures through enhanced geothermal. Geographically, much more availability than there was before. And as you look at the regulatory framework, we need to make sure that we have permitting that is fluid, quick, and efficient. We need to make sure that we have stakeholders aligned between governments, local communities, and companies. We need to encourage and prosper the advancement of industrial outcomes and also the sources of energy that allow that to be a reality. We need to rewrite the energy equation. And today, I stand in front of you not with a simple ask of collaboration. I ask you to think about the generation ahead. How do we ensure that we provide to them the prosperity that they deserve? How do we make sure that we have sustainable, affordable, and secure energy going forward? How do we in this room make it possible and work together cohesively to create that environment of solutions? We at Baker Hughes are committed to that. And I know you in this room from the multiple industries are also committed to it. And we have an opportunity in the next 2 days to discuss and dialogue the opportunity ahead. How do we make it possible? How do we scale at large industrial solutions? How do we continue to expand the energy sources? That's what we're here to do. Think back to 600 years ago, the Duomo and the Dome. They achieved what was felt impossible, colliding forces that would have actually crushed the structure, held together in balance by the lantern. That's the opportunity that we have in front of us, rethinking the energy equation and rewriting the energy equation for future generations. I look forward to the dialogue, and I take this opportunity to thank you for joining us here in Florence. I know there's a lot of commitments out there and a lot taking place in the world. This is a venue where we can collaborate, dialogue, and rethink and reshape the energy equation. Let's rewrite the energy equation together. Thank you very much.